What are you making of this whole affair of Mehul Choksi leaving Antigua, showing up in Dominica?
It is so commonsensical that Antigua was the best place on this earth legally for Mr. Mehul Choksi to be there, because there was a stay which we had got by challenging the Antigua Extradition Act as well as Citizenship Act. So he was legally safe. And moreover, Antigua is just now, on one channel I heard the interview of the opposition party chairman. Antigua's standard of living and everything is much better than Dominica. And so everything that he would have got in Dominica, Mr. Mehul Choksi already had. So there is no logical, commonsensical reason for him to run away. And let me tell you, with my experience in criminal law, if somebody has to inflict injury, he will never inflict injury on his face.
Mehul Choksi actually told me when I interviewed him sometime in 2014, 2013, that he wanted to move away from India because it was becoming difficult to do business. And he said it as a matter of casual discussion. But it seemed to me that he was actually planning his moves even then. Choksi has actually been ahead of the curve as compared to his nephew and the authorities, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a few more surprises up his sleeve for us.
He had an Antiguan passport, he was an Antiguan citizen, and he is fighting the battle in Antigua. There's no earthly sense. Either his going to Dominica was an involuntary act of his, or he intended to go somewhere else and either stopped over in Dominica, or on the way matters went wrong, he was mugged or whatever happened. But the fact is, Dominica is not really his best option. Dominica has no extradition treaty with India at all. But if India is able to convince the Dominicans to send Choksi back to India, then that will be a very great victory for India indeed. And in fact, that is one more reason why Choksi would not have voluntarily gone to Dominica.
He is citizen of Antigua, and his Indian citizenship has been seized. As far as red notice of Interpol is concerned, now this will be a legal issue whether he can be deported back to India, or as Aryan Sundaram said, he should be sent back to Antigua.
Just having an extradition agreement does not mean that you will get your man back. If that was the case, we would have got all 25 cases back from UK. And in last 20 odd years, we've just got 2 back. Same is the case worldwide. But if we go purely by legal issues and by technicality of it, not having an extradition agreement makes it even more difficult.
Do you believe this is unprecedented and unfortunate, should never have happened, that a chief secretary is caught in such an escalating war of words?
No chief secretary has been summoned in the history of India to leave his state on the last date of his service and present himself almost like an accused without a posting in the government of India to satisfy some pique or some angst or some ego. You see, I have served both the governments as secretary level, principal secretary level, and I'm fairly neutral, or I think I'm fairly neutral on this score, where I've been caught in crossfires. But this is one of the most inane things to have happened, and whoever advised the Prime Minister is obviously not fully literate or plain stupid.
Remember what Mamata Banerjee has said. She has said the Modi government's decision to recall Alappan Bandyopadhyay was illegal and unconstitutional. So Mamata Banerjee, under Article 311 of the Constitution, recalling the Chief Secretary was absolutely a legal and constitutional move, and Modi government has the prerogative. With respect to appointments, retirements, deference, extensions, when there is a conflict between centre and state, Rule 8 of All India Service Rules of 1969 says the centre's will shall prevail.
To be honest, for the first time, I felt like laughing on your serious show, which is the reputed show, because the BJP spokesperson is giving lecture to an ex-secretary of the government of India on the cadre rules. I mean, it is like me giving lecture to a cardiac surgeon about cardiac surgery.
You can laugh all you want. I don't care.
Okay.
I laid out the rules.
Several countries across the world are using 5G already. So is there merit to stop its implementation in India?
What you hear in the news is all the rosy part, which is how it will impact the economy. You will have Internet of Things and cars which can be remotely controlled and autonomous cars and everything connected. But that is the rosy part. I mean, Juhi has also in the past raised concern about regular your 2G, 3G, 4G cell towers. And a lot of that concern is not unfounded. I mean, we are looking at people suffering from sleeplessness, mental health, anxiety. And a lot of these things could be due to the extremely interconnected world we live in, huge amount of gadgets, everything working on radio frequency. Even the WHO has clearly mentioned that there is a possible chance of this being carcinogenic. So I think the need of the hour is for scientists to move in and a lot of independent studies. We are also seeing the impact on pollinators like bees, bats, birds. And those kind of studies, I don't think are very complex, frankly speaking, but we are just not doing them.
There is really no evidence out there, no serious scientific work that demonstrates that 5G or any telecom technology that uses wireless radio really is harmful to either human life or animal life or flora, fauna. These are things that were fairly settled a while ago. We have lived with mobile telephony for generations already. Mobile telephony came to India in the 90s, came to other parts of the world a little bit before that as well, and we have been fine. And there is nothing really fundamentally different about 5G technology except for the fact that you will have a few more cell towers in more places. And that's pretty much it. You don't really, there's not much different here that, to spread fear, uncertainty and doubt about.